It's another episode of Poker Time. We're playing 5, 10, and usually 20. There's usually a straddle of the 20. There it is. Let's see. Actually, it's 25, isn't it? It's 5, 10, 25.
Right, that's right. They changed it to 25, and you can see the empty seat of despair. That is what happens when you lose a lot of the time.
We did lose a player
last
episode. But that's going to happen when you're playing.
That's poker. People love saying that.
They do. They don't say it as much as they used to, at least. They used to say that no matter what. It was annoying.
Kids these days just merge their range. That's what they do.
They're so smart.
Yeah.
And you sound smart.
Yeah.
You should be more friendly with Phil Galfond because of how smart you sound. Hey, it's Wheel with the suited king.
It is Wheel. He's going to play this hand? That's a
Yep.
little out of character.
For a limp.
Strange. Very strange. But okay. It looks like Dan Ross is going to punish immediately.
I like it.
With the
right hand to do it with.
Pretty good ace. It's a very small raise. He's
just trying to get value out of Wheel, it seems.
I guess so.
We're just going to have to call this one.
Yeah, his price is nice.
Who was that guy? Remember the guy who used to wear the big...
The good news, Wheel, is if you had raised pre, Dan Ross was going to call at least, so the money would have been about the same.
You probably would have 3-bet, actually.
I don't know. I'm not sure if he would have or not, but Wheel would have had the initiative, and he doesn't now. He does have top pair, though.
He does, and Dan Ross has a gut shot. Backdoor 10 high flush draw.
Also the overcard.
This like gangster dude sitting at the table, like all like super gangstered out. It's not a stereotype. Like he's like
Wheel's just gonna lead right in, Dan.
For only 75, and Dan Ross may just see this as chum in the water.
Yep.
Let's see. With the hand that he has,
he makes the call. He's gonna float.
The dude like
hits a 10. That's an awkward card to hit. Pretty much never puts you in the lead unless Wheel has Jack 10, in which case you're still in the lead.
Only 75 again. I expect Dan Ross to find a lot of raises right here, but he finds a call instead. I guess he's just getting the right price.
I don't see Wheel betting again unless he bets 75 again.
75 could happen.
Star Wars motherfucker, what?
He's going to do the thing. He's going to do the Wheel thing, right?
Oh, the pretend, think about, and then check.
He always really convinces me at one point.
Yep.
He's got me. Oh, he did it.
He did 75 again, and will Dan Ross just pay off the 75?
Star Wars motherfucker.
Yes,
he will.
He just
wow, that went
right
perfectly for Wheel.
I guess he's putting Wheel on some sixes, enough of the time that he can pay off 75.
I guess. I don't know. It's hard to come up with anything real there.
I don't imagine if Wheel had a spade.
Jack 10?
Yeah.
Could be Jack 10.
Could be Jack 10. I don't imagine if Wheel had a spade draw that he would bluff for that small amount
right.
on the river.
I thought we were really going to see a raise on any of the 3 streets. I'm surprised we saw him on none of them.
Yep.
Dan Ross certainly has that gear.
And Dan Ross continues curving towards infinity.
I like that. That's cool.
Thank you.
That's a bad thing.
Yeah, in this case, he's lost a lot of money in this game.
Yep.
Big chips out front, please. So at break, we were going to ask...
We may have gotten max value there, actually, with the 75, 75, 75
He
line.
might have...
Gotcha.
Everybody's afraid.
Yeah, curving towards infinity. I'm going to start using that. That's a new thing.
I like that a lot, too.
Raise to 30.
Dan Ross, not slowing down.
How can you slow down when you're curving towards infinity?
That's an interesting point.
Danny will not be folding this hand.
Danny
he will
usually
not be calling with his hand.
Usually puts in the raise.
Looks like 120, 125.
Had fun at Chinook.
And what can you do with ace-8 off? You can go nuts, but usually it's just a fold.
Well, you're going to call if you're Dan Ross and you're up against Danny, apparently.
Well, it probably is good enough to call against Danny in position, honestly. The problem is that you don't hit that often.
Well, that's true for most poker hands.
Yeah, but ace-8 off is just,
you don't get
it's
much.
a lot different than ace-10 suited as far as how frequently you feel good about the board.
Also, it's just a tough plan to have of like, if I flop top pair, I guess I just never fold against Danny no matter how much he puts in, and there's Danny doing the thing. There's not that many things that bring Danny more joy at a poker table, at least, than bluffing with 4 deuce and showing it.
Right. I think it's brisket overall.
He's a big brisket guy.
Yeah.
That's true.
Everybody, yep.
5, 10, 20.
What? Round the shuttle?
5, 10, 20. We got a...
That was the dynamic V molecule hand. Do you realize that? That last hand. Dan Ross against Danny.
Oh, I was like, what are you saying? Dynamic V molecule? That sounds like
versus
the antagonist substance in the rock or something, you know? Like Dan Ross folds the
substance
board.
cannot be an antagonist, by the way. But
I
anyway.
know, I know.
All
You
right.
know what I mean. The dangerous substance used by
Yes.
the antagonist.
Oh, Danny ain't folding this one either. And he's going to find a call.
Interesting. Just going to take a flop in position. Oh, no, it's not a call. It's just a black chip that looks like a green chip.
Oh. Well, diamonds would be a disaster for Dan. The dynamic. Oh, man, alliteration.
There is a 10 on the board. Nothing for Danny.
Well, this is one of those things where you may have to hold on real hard if you can. It's hard to do. Can't
Danny-
fold yet.
Danny bets pretty big. 145.
Just can't fold yet to Danny.
It just sucks. You'd love to
know.
have a diamond on that board. Just one little diamond, please.
It sucks a lot. I mean, is the plan just to go call? Because it can't be. So we're going to call and hope to improve on the turn?
I think that's what's going through
Yeah.
Ken's head there. I don't think
get
he's
that.
thinking, is this hand good enough to call against Danny?
Right.
I think he's thinking, do I really want to do this?
Right. Because Danny is completely willing to just put huge pressure on you. And it's a reasonable fold, I have to say.
Yeah. Not from a GTO perspective, but
Nope. But from a life perspective.
yeah.
Vertebrae right out of your.
I just want to go to bed and feel the calmness.
Yeah.
Perspective.
Like a quail or a
Danny
snake.
thrives, though,
Like,
on that.
laid
Yeah, he
out,
lives in the chaos realm.
like a girl on top of a girl.
It's a demon of chaos.
The guy who talked about the shadows on the
Never heard
cave
of that
wall.
turkey before.
Yeah,
That's-
Plato.
That's basically Danny.
Yeah.
He's one of those shadows.
Yeah, he's
Because
the
turkey
Shadow
is
Man.
favorable.
It's too bad he already has a nickname.
I know, it is.
You could have more than one,
no,
I
I don't think so.
guess. Michael Jordan had a lot of them.
Right, and did that work out for him? What's his nickname?
His airness, I think I'm going to go with.
That's the only one that I think stuck, really. I guess Air Jordan.
Yeah.
That's kind of the same thing.
No, they're kind of.
Like if we called him Dynamic Danny and Danny the Dynamic and the Dynamic, that's all the same nickname. But if you called Michael Jordan the Pimple
like a frog.
or Acne Jordan, you know, and Air Jordan, only one of those is going to stick. The Pimple, because he always bothers you, you know. He's always getting in the way. He's an irritant.
Right, of course. That's Michael
Pimple.
Jordan.
Okay, Susie, spatchcock.
It's very full. Oh my God.
Talk loudly, Jonathan. Talk loudly.
You have to pay double for that.
Fold, fold. Fold.
My wife doesn't watch poker.
Raise to 80. Folds.
Danny's going to go ahead and open up the range.
I'd like to call you, but I can't.
You should have.
You ever marinate a turkey in buttermilk?
No. Pretty good.
You season it or no?
No. You kind of.
I don't know why
soak
that
it in
wouldn't.
buttermilk.
I don't know
Like
why
you do
that
with fried
wouldn't be
chicken.
You
good.
season it before you.
Because
cook it.
chicken,
Nice.
fried chicken,
I think that's a good idea.
is the is
Yeah, fried-
absolutely the best.
That's
Buttermilk
like what you
fried
do for
chicken's
fried
really
chicken.
good.
Right.
Yeah, you soak it in buttermilk.
Do you fry it after you? season
No,
it with
it's
buttermilk?
baked up.
Baked?
Nice.
These are good ideas.
Yeah.
Macho,
I
macho.
never
Ooh,
thought
Ken's
of
got
it.
aces.
Hello.
Turkey believer.
Welcome.
He min raises.
Pound Town.
Okay, that's incorrect.
What? Why wouldn't you say that?
Ken min raises. What do you think of that?
You never even
I think it worked amazingly well.
I think that was going to happen either way, but
Really?
Yeah.
yes, it did
Yeah,
work.
you're probably right. It actually, I'm not a fan of the min raise for sure because I think now when he
Oh,
puts in
that's
the
true, deep fried.
re-raise.
He just calls.
Oh, okay. Well, that's better.
This,
if
this
you're
is
gonna
the
do
way.
it.
This is the way to try to get all of it from Danny. Now,
The problem is stack to pot could be so much bigger if we just put in a normal raise pre, but oh well.
Frying pan?
not the best flop for aces. Danny could have gone ahead with the 10, but he has such a wide range that we're just going to have to call
Oh yeah.
a lot of the time all the way down.
Uh-huh. I think absolutely. We folded that other hand. We folded the 10-9, but this is not a hand. Like, we can think of hands we're beating for value, let alone all the bluffs.
I'm concerned that Ken's about to raise, and I don't think he should.
He looks like he's calling. I wonder if that's going to shut Danny down. Danny does
He
a
does
pretty
call,
good job
okay.
of shutting down in a lot of spots.
Yeah, I mean, there's not a... Ooh,
Oh,
that's a
that's-
pretty bad card for Ken, but he should know that he's still ahead a lot of the time.
I don't expect Danny will continue, though.
That's a bad card for Danny, for sure.
Danny can get queen jack to fold. That's the one thing you could bet, but you could bet really small. But he just says, no, I'm chopping with my ace. I'm beating queen jack anyway. I'll worry about it later. Ken probably doesn't completely love that card either.
Ooh, Ken's going to go for a bet. I'm not exactly sure what he's trying to get value from
King,
here.
king, ace, queen. That's about it. Maybe a jack once in a while. Those are the things.
I don't think this is the right move probably against Danny.
He's
But
probably just checking it back anyway, though.
yeah, it's probably
Most of his
a
range.
moot point. Save it for moot court. Danny's considering a raise, I think. I don't think he's going to call.
Well, you can't beat Queen Jack anymore. That's probably what he's thinking about, right? Like, should I try and get... No, it looks like he just gave up there.
Or could I fold out King Jack even, you know?
Right. Wow, Danny looks very sad. Sounds very sad.
He doesn't like folding.
Yeah. Well, Ken got some extra value there. I think you get even more value just by 4-betting that pre-flop against Danny, though. Danny doesn't fold any hands, really.
Yeah, you made it 225. If Ken made
Yeah.
it 600, I don't think Danny's folding ace 4 suited.
Certainly not 550.
Yeah.
Never folding for 550.
Holy shit. I also have these.
Button string. I don't know if you know what that is.
I do.
And you just immediately can go into check call mode when it comes 10-10-9 and
Yep.
see what happens, you know?
Show me who won the pot. Tell me who
Yeah.
won the pot.
Exactly.
I'm not folding.
No, I still have to tell what I eat.
Hold on.
It's,
When I'm
me.
exercising.
Whoops. I did it again. Jeez.
Fold.
So we have a straddle on the button, the molecule, putting 25 up there without
Yep.
seeing his cards.
You're about to break in the-
There's Korean Mike, who has been destroying the table this entire session.
Yep. He seemed to slow down a lot in the last session, but maybe he's ramping it back up. He folded some hands you would never expect to see folded pre-flop to no raise. But now he's back to playing hands, it looks like.
Yeah.
The wrecking ball. Oh, that's a different deal.
Dan Ross has a 7 and the lead
And the button.
and the big glasses.
And the kid's hat.
Kid's hat.
Yeah.
It looks like a normal adult hat to me.
Okay.
65.
You don't have to talk down to me.
Okay.
Korean Mike continues, super small, and Dan Ross has a 7. So let's see the turn.
Oh,
And
yeah. He's a savage.
another barrel by Korean Mike will get it done, but I assume, but I don't think he's going to have too many of those barrels.
He
in
might. I think of Korean Mike as kind of a classic tag player.
there. Mm.
You got these
Let's
special
see. He does
glasses.
fire a lot of turns. You are correct on
Safety
that.
goggles?
And you're right. He is going to fire again. And this probably will work. It should work, right?
Just for-
Yeah.
Dan's.
Oh, it's
oh,
swing. Oh no, it's
it's
250.
It looked like a. I don't see how Dan Ross can call it with a bad 7 here.
I would call.
It's almost a pot-sized bet.
Yeah. Korean Mike's saying like, I'm going to make you fold out your clubs and maybe even your bad aces and anything else.
I don't know if Dan's in the mood to fold any bad aces at this
Yeah,
point.
I don't know either. He was in the mood to fold a 7.
Yeah. He's laughing at least. He's having a good time. That's what we're here for.
Well, he's acting like he's having a good time. We don't actually know what
but
his
to us,
experience
the
is.
experience is the same, and that's all that matters.
Mike even
Well, you're talking about his experience.
His experience is on the screen. You're on YouTube. You're watching. It's not about that. It's about you.
You said he's having a good time.
What is he? He's pixels on a screen.
Slice, dice.
So then, what? None of your points make sense. Korean Mike folds.
And you can even cock muscle your turkey.
Dear Lord.
Classic Korean Mike with that fold.
It's a real. Yeah. That was just like the old days.
All right, Danny. Let's see if he continues his 3-betting ways.
No, he's just gonna call.
Christ.
He's gonna take a flop.
He's chastened since the last hand against Ken.
Yeah, sure. And Wheels considering calling with a terrible hand, but a really good price.
I thought he was going to fold multiple times. I thought he was faking it and going to fold, but he was faking it and called.
He only does the fake "I'm gonna bet" thing. That's what he does.
He does all sorts of fake things.
Well, I would like to
Great flop for Danny.
Top 2. What a deal. That's why you call with ace-7 off out of position.
And Ken very reasonably is going to continue,
idea of a gold.
but to no avail. Will Danny put him in the raise right away? It's totally reasonable to raise this hand.
You can just hope that Ken has a big ace.
Yep. Ken ain't folding any ace of any kind. We know that. And maybe even just other one-pair hands.
Jesus Christ.
Danny calls instead.
No.
Spades are just going to kill a lot of action.
I don't want one.
It's a jack.
Oh, gutter now for Ken. He picks up some equity and checks it.
Family dinner.
Danny's got to be a little disappointed, but knows he's
Whatever
ahead.
Uncle Jay says, you
And
just
Danny
ignore
is not
Wow.
concerned anymore.
Should Danny go for the check or the bet? Ken likes to call.
He does.
I think you should bet here.
I think you could bet like 250.
Try and get called by a jack. And look how quickly Ken is
Oh, he
gonna
bets
fold.
400.
Oh. Trying to get called by an ace.
I was really hoping Ken had an ace.
Why?
Because I had a full house.
No, I did not have. Button straddle on the button. My hand was never better than a gut shot.
Oh shit.
And we're back.
We have returned. Now it's a musical show. It's not true. That was it.
No, the singing is reserved for Patreon members only. So
That's
smash that like button, guys.
Yep.
Anyway, we got the straddle on the button. Korean Mike with the King 10 says, "Not today, sir." Because that's what you tell the god of death.
Mm-hmm.
Check.
What else would you tell him? Or her?
Rematch.
Today,
I feel like
sir.
we're only
Yeah.
15 playing hands.
It didn't matter because I knew I was folding.
Ken with
that,
the
but
best
I-
hand and continues to have the best hand.
25.
Danny with not much going on that flop. Probably just going to let her go.
Yep.
Oh, it's way better than my hand.
Thank you.
How pissed are you guys if I use all 5 of my time banks on my big blind? Just like, oh, that's gonna take a little while.
I'd be pissed if I'm
Well, it's
stuck.
only 23 because I
Me
went
too.
5 up.
Well,
I'd be
never.
pissed too. I'd be like, what the fuck, Kareem?
So much for influencing action.
Danny was trying to pay for some of Wheel's straddle there, I think. And Wheel still refused.
I hope you have a monster and get no action.
Fold.
Wow. Could it be twice?
And Danny folds ace-5 out of spite, I believe.
Call.
Well, Wheel's going to limp ace deuce in of spite.
In respite.
Better. Korean Mike has such a bad hand.
Yeah, you can just fold even for $5 there if you want to.
And this is just what you hate. I mean, it only costs him $5, but you just hate it. You put in that $5 with such a bad hand, and now you're not even going to get to see a flop
Yeah.
anyway. It's the worst of all worlds. I mean, I guess there are worse things that can happen, but you know.
I can't think of him. And Wheel's going to call. He's got position.
Yeah, he's not limping to fold. We've
Yeah,
seen
it was
that.
a big raise, though.
It was.
I feel like half the time when somebody says that to him, it goes way sideways.
You go sideways?
And what a flop for Caremio. It's a little bit precarious, a little dynamic, but it's a pretty great flop for Queen 9. And he's going to check it. Interesting. I would think this isn't quite strong enough to check raise.
Looks like a
No, I don't think he's check raising.
I'll take a free card.
Show him the moose.
Really?
Bill checks it back.
He does have the ace of clubs. And there's a club.
Wowie, wow, wow, wow.
That's a really bad card for Caremio's hand. He's
I
gonna
mean,
now start betting.
the action, though, going check, check on the flop makes him think like he's almost always ahead right
True,
here.
but if you're going to pick bad cards, that's one of them.
Sure. The 10 of clubs is worse.
Yep.
King of clubs is worse. The 8 of clubs is worse.
All right, you've named 3 cards.
Yep. Sure did.
And there is
Wow.
another club. It is not the nuts, but it is effectively the nuts for Wheel, and most of the time he's going to have the best hand.
Was that a $50
50.
little baby bet? Yep.
You know there's clubs out there.
That's not going to work out.
Oh, where?
I have to check. Hold on.
You should check.
Can't check you bet.
Well, making a big point out of the fact he's checking his cards.
I'll do.
Here comes a raise.
I would assume. There it is.
125.
I thought for sure you were gonna make
Cremio knows what to do.
This
Three
cock-
flush.
It's pretty hard to bluff in that spot as wheel. You could,
Wow.
but
That's pretty good.
it's tough.
I mean, Cremio's line really looks like the ace of clubs. He
It
went
does.
check, bet, bet.
Yeah.
If he had just bet the flop, might have taken it down. Probably takes it down, but
Yeah.
you know, he was hunting for bigger game, as we say in the hunting biz.
Yeah, I just don't know if that was the right hand to do it with.
Yeah,
on that
I
flop.
agree. And maybe the wrong opponent too. Is Wheel
That was bad.
so wild if you check to him and
Right.
he doesn't have anything? He's not super
Please
bluffy,
help
right?
me win more
It's
money.
not Danny.
Exactly.
What could I have done to win more money?
Yeah, no,
In fact, can you write me an email so I can study it later?
we'll first you win the hand, then you gotta spatchcock me like that.
Fold. Call. Fold.
Dan Ross is going to limp the ace-6 of clubs.
Fold.
And it all comes down to Korean Mike.
He's got a nice hand, but he could easily check in position here and just see a flop. Looks like he's going to bump it up.
He's just going to keep riding this train, which has been so good to him today.
He said Sandusky to me.
And we will be seeing a flop with two pretty nice hands.
Yeah.
No, that's a whole
Ross is
nother
like,
show.
make it easy. Make it easy.
I didn't.
Well, that's easy.
He's a guy.
It is, and I am quite sure that Mike is going to bet.
Sexual
Oh, yeah.
misbehavior with-
Not only does he have...
Jesus Christ.
This is just a good board to bet if you're the pre-flop raiser anyway, but he's got the two back doors.
Yep.
Come on.
Bill says it's too sweet for him.
60.
Can't even get a
No clubs on the board. Maybe you could talk yourself into a call with one, but easy fold there.
Seriously, if I flop a backseat.
And the Mike train keeps on chewing.
Dan wanted easy. He got it, but...
Thank you.
He didn't ask for that. You asked for it for him.
I said what he wanted.
Ah, okay. I see.
We know what he wants.
Right.
We know how he feels.
Right. We know exactly everything about him.
Those are pretty sweet.
Too sweet for you too.
And they're not called golden showers.
You know what he calls that hat he's wearing,
We
right?
call we
Bingo.
we've been
The little
calling
kid
them
hat.
golden showers of
But both are
Orlando
good.
for a
Both are, we'll accept both
Long time.
answers.
It should.
This should. You don't
So-
want to hear much outside of.
You want to know how the golden shower name even?
So everyone but Ken and Wheel, I think, are straddling. So we're mostly getting $25 blinds at this point.
And Ken min raises again. At least there's
Interesting.
there's consistency there.
Yeah,
It's
I
not
like that.
just with aces.
Oh, yeah.
And Danny he's done. He's done sitting around.
he can't take it anymore. The dynamic must be at play.
Me and Ken are about to get into a big one.
It's sort of connected.
You and Ken?
It's enough.
Are we?
Yeah.
You're assuming
About
you're
me.
gonna
You guys aren't
fold, is that right?
even
What about me? I mean,
Irrelevant.
Can
maybe
Danny
it's my
spin
fault.
it into gold? Well, maybe he
He
can,
might
but
be
there's
able
a set
to.
of fours for Korean Mike and a spade draw for Ken.
Wow,
Look
this,
out.
look at this board.
Top
and these
player
hands.
for Caremio. Everyone has a good hand. This is crazy.
I think by the time it gets to Cremio, he'll be folding.
Yeah, probably. Korean Mike. Whoa. did
Danny
just-
raises immediately,
Look,
and
here we go, Korean Mike. It's up to 650 already. Korean Mike just cannot believe this. This is amazing.
it's amazing. But it is bottom set, and we saw last episode that Mike was getting a little squeezy. You know, he wants to protect that good session he's had.
Yep. But come on. The only thing you're losing to here is a set of sixes, right? Like, Danny never has 10-10 and just
And he-
calls pre.
honestly, he often 3-bets sixes
Yep.
too.
This is a super straightforward spot where you have to worry about the draws coming in. I think
Yeah.
you just have to there's a lot of money in there. You have to raise.
You're a big favorite against the draws.
I mean, the problem is calling is also so face up, right? Like, you don't have to have 4-4. I guess you could have ace X of spades, but
Can we keep playing?
either way, I mean, you're just so strong when you just flat this anyway.
You could 3-bet, and I think if you 3-bet, you might actually fold Danny out with this hand because Danny's not doing great against that range.
He is 3-betting.
Fold.
And Danny hates to see that. I don't think you can do anything with this hand now. The spades are not going to fold at this point, and you are.
Oh, and Danny finds a call quickly.
Wow, he's in deep trouble against spades.
Wow, Danny only has 1.4 back.
I think Danny might just move in if a spade hits the turn.
Yep, that's
It's
a
an
terrible
ace.
card for Danny and a great card for Korean Mike. Danny never has that ace does not help Danny enough ever.
Danny moves in.
Whoa.
He could easily have ace X of spades.
Look at how annoyed Mike is. Mike's like, he does have sixes sometimes, but it doesn't matter.
You just have to make this call. The price is really
I think you
good.
do this against almost any opponent, certainly against Danny.
I got a bad feeling.
1.4 to win
Look how
5.2.
annoyed Mike is, and Danny's like, oh.
He does
There's the
have
call.
outs. He has 8 clean outs.
Yep. One time. We only run it once here. It's not even 3-5 of spades. That's pretty good.
Yeah. It could be a lot worse for Mike.
8 outs. You're 81% to win the $6,700 pot. Here we go again, Korean Mike. You've been doing it all night long. Can you Lionel Richie this one all the way home?
For better or for worse, typically we'd only do it once, but that's
I like this suspense, Josh. Our dealer's like building this up.
Are they talking about running it twice? Do we run it twice here? Are you sure?
I don't think we.
that's fine.
Oh, they are. They are talking about it.
Run it twice, the burn's off with the first board.
Oh, they are running it twice. Okay. I didn't know that they did that at all.
Mike wins the first.
Here goes the
Good on
jack.
the first one.
All right. Makes it easy for Mike. And that
And
makes
Mike
it
wins the
real
second
easy
one.
for Mike. Gets it all. $10.6 thousand in front of him now.
Some, Danny. Let me see what we got.
This is Kevin territory.
Yep.
Look
I
at all
think
those
he's-
chips.
I think Mike's in for about 2,500 or so. Maybe a little bit more.
I think that he
Maybe
did have to
3,000?
rebuy early on.
I think
if
he
remember.
rebought for 1,000 at one point.
He might be in for 3,000.
Yeah, maybe 3,000, 3,500, something like that. So he's up at least 7K minimum. Minimum. Wow, Korean Mike.
So how much do you have?
Boy, Danny really didn't have to call that raise on the flop, that 3-bet.
I'm just gonna give him this 5 back.
But that is Danny's thing, right? He's like, I'm here to gamble, baby.
Yeah.
4, 5,
I mean, you don't want an extra
Well,
6, 7, 8.
No, you got everybody covered.
And look at that.
there it is.
He is. It looks like he's only in for about 2K, if that's correct.
If it's correct, yeah. And you can see we're missing some
Some
players.
losses.
Yeah,
Because
K6 is gone.
Mhm.
And Danny's not on there either anymore, right?
Yeah.
I
The
think
dynamic is, well,
Yeah,
he's down about 4K also.
So that just set a
I believe.
precedent. Run it twice now.
Well, I would have lost.
I'm serious.
Glad I was in on that one.
Because I like running
Korean Mike just absorbing all of the cash at the table
in this game. I'd like to run it twice.
like a loofah.
Like a loofah.
I mean, loofahs don't absorb.
Of course, they're designed not to.
It's the opposite of what a loofah would do. I was testing you and you failed.
I'm so sorry.
It's okay.
What a day it has been for Mike.
Yeah, truly. Look, like he sort of doesn't know what to do with himself a little bit. You can like look the way he's moving. Even
Yep.
just- like I understand. I've been there. You sort of busy yourself a little bit, in
Mm-hmm.
these spots when you win these huge pots because you don't want to look. You don't want to look like you don't want to upset the loser. You
Yeah.
wanna leave him alone. Give him so you may like look like you're busy. Now maybe that's what maybe he's busy. That's what I do.
Now you move the table.
Looks like we have some sort of wheel-related problem going on. here.
Shocking. It's shocking.
I wouldn't be surprised.
And he's got ace king.
Okay, and is it a min raise? Looks like a min raise. This is the new hot thing.
I thought it was 75. I thought it looked like
Oh, yeah,
75.
video for this round.
At some point, we'll find out.
Looks like Kareemio wants to do something with Jack 4 of hearts, but knows better.
Dan Ross with oh, you're right, 75.
I would love to see what
Wheel has made it 75.
Yep.
He has ace king.
Great.
These are the things we know.
Well, if he has ace king, he's well ahead.
Brian, I'll pay for the
He might even have the ace of clubs. I think he does.
North African spatchcock well. Cock muscle.
me and you.
150. Fold.
Danny went out to gear
Full pot bet. Ends things quickly.
Yep.
Digging for the
Razor clams?
no the cock muscles.
What?
Cock, not a gear. That's what he called them. Cock muscles. No, fishing. I went tuna fishing.
Oh, nice.
We went out the day we went out.
When you're in a game like this and you're Mike and things have gone so well, you want so much to be happy, but because things have gone so well for you, you know that means ultimately that it's gone pretty poorly for a lot of other people at the table usually. So it makes it harder to have a celebratory atmosphere.
I mean, outwardly.
Yeah.
Right? Because inwardly, I don't think he feels
No,
bad,
you
right?
feel pretty good.
Yeah.
Feeling
But-
pretty good.
But yes, you can't fist pump and stuff like I mean, you can, but it's really, I don't think it's classy at all. I'm
No.
with you. Like, you got to
big ass
be aware not to spike the football in
Right.
front of the people who you just took thousands of dollars off of. Otherwise, they're less inclined to want to play with you
Yeah.
in the future.
Or be friendly with you, which
Yeah.
can affect your overall playing experience if this is your regular place.
Yep. And you know, when it happens to me, I don't want someone to spike the football in front of me. I appreciate when people
Yeah.
don't do that, so I don't want to do it to them.
Hey, and Danny is not taking his foot off the gas. Nothing has changed.
Ken has called though the 3-bet,
Yeah, he has. He has position.
and he's got
I saw
an
Bad-
open ender.
He's got a bad open ender. I like Danny's
Well,
hand better.
The 7 comes in, it's pretty good. You're right, Danny's got a much better hand and might be putting in a check raise right now.
Yeah,
let's
when
see.
he checks there, it seems like the most
No.
of what he's going to do. But yeah, he
Interesting.
decided just to call.
It's
Interesting.
Like that, you know, that murder scene on the boat from tuning in. 'cause they're all
Everybody
playing
misses that
together.
card, and it goes check, check, and Danny's ripe to steal this if a brick comes off.
And it is not a brick.
Ken makes the straight, and
Yeah,
Danny
he
just
said the week
never
prior they were
did an aggressive action post flop. That is shocking.
Ken's going to go for value with a third nuts.
How
Not going to
about
get any.
that? That's very interesting the way Danny played that hand.
It was not what I expected once we saw that flop having 3-bet.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. Just hanging out catching halibut.
Well, I think he probably lost the minimum.
Yeah.
Playing it that way.
Maybe. He might have gotten a check raise through.
Yeah, check raise might have worked.
Yeah, we saw like these little like.
But
what,
maybe
like
not.
the herring or whatever, or little.
Although on the turn, even if
something like
if
that.
Danny
Like,
fires
they're
again on the turn,
everywhere,
that
so the
might.
Yeah,
have
I
worked.
think
dolphins were
Yeah,
out,
okay. If Danny really
swimming around
inflates the
looking,
pot.
and the
But if he just
dolphins were
c-bets,
there,
Ken's just going to
whales were
call
out,
and probably call turn and then
and
get there.
He's probably folding the turn.
Depends on the size.
Yeah.
Ken likes to call. Let's not.
Yeah, but he also folds sometimes.
But he likes to call though. Anyway, here's wheel with Jack 10.
looks like he's gonna call out of the small blind here.
It's the straightiest hand in the world. Jack 10.
10-5 is the straightiest hand. It blocks all the
that's-
straights.
That's the opposite of being the straightiest hand. Then think about
It
what
blocks
think
all the
about the words
straights.
you're saying. Korean Mike with the call.
Oh, look at this. Ken's got the aces, and he makes it 100.
Albacore, like they look like dolphins. I mean, they're mini, but they don't look the size of a dolphin, but they're massive. And
Wheel shouldn't be limping to call with a hand like this, or fold, excuse me.
Yeah, I
Limping
was
to
going
fold.
to say.
fucking
These guys both should be calling and seeing a
And as
flop.
they get close, you gotta grab
And
the
then Ken has to not get
poles.
unlucky.
Fucking just grab it by the
Or
side
it's
of
going
the
to be
head.
very painful. Oh, and wheels out.
I don't see Mike folding.
For
Like, 'cause they're,
$75, that would be absurd unless he's truly locking it up.
Why would he have called in the first place if he was truly locking it up? No.
Agreed.
throw 'em back at you.
But he's in real bad shape. 13% equity.
Well, let's see what the flop brings.
Look at those stacks of high society he's got in front of him.
Well, that's an easy flop not to lose a lot of money on.
Yes, it is. Check fold. Bye-bye.
I love that thing. Yeah, it's good.
There's the bet.
It'll feed you for a long time.
150 into 250.
Not even a back door. Lets it go.
This day? No, this day was light. It was just a handful. But the week prior, he had got a ton in his buddy's boat.
Boy, if you look at Kareem Mike's face right now, you just wouldn't know he was up all this money.
He's being respectful.
He's got that
He's got a little
KM,
bit of a
that KM scowl.
got a little bit of a wry smile sort of
It's
underneath
a,
it.
it's a frown.
It's a right. It's
guys on
that's
the
the
boat are
way
really-
his
The
mouth
mouth-
is turned.
The
but
mouth
you can
is
tell.
facing down
But you
instead
can
of
tell.
up.
But you can tell.
It's only because you're reading into it.
Wry smile.
Seen how different tuna feels.
Frown.
Put them all in the coolers on the boat with lots of ice, and then you bring them home and get them.
Dan Ross. Is he still boss?
Mm,
Film at 11.
The only other time I got a tuna was out.
What?
Was in Central.
But boss, he is still boss. But boss of what?
All kinds of
That's what they do.
different
That's the
fish
other
on
thing they
boat.
do, right?
Crazy fish. I think it
They,
was
of course,
yeah,
is local
we, like,
news.
collated
Right.
on the boat and we were
Obviously.
shooting on the boat.
tonight at 11, your child will die tomorrow unless you do this.
Yellowfin's my favorite.
Yeah, that's basically what they say.
Yep. And then they don't tell you what it is for 25 minutes.
Yeah.
Yellowfin's supposed to be the
And then it
best.
doesn't matter what
Right.
the thing
It's
was.
like,
It,
you
your
should-
child was going to be fine.
You should stop feeding them Capri Sun that was manufactured between March and April of 2023.
Yeah.
But those,
Which is
those
tough to do
bluefins
since
Yeah.
go for half a million.
that's in the future.
Well, some people are watching this in the future.
But everyone
I did
else,
it for them. I did it for them.
Dan Ross gets out of the way, and it's Karemia with the 3-bet, and Wheel says, I don't think so. And that is going to do it for us as well on Poker Time. We'll see you next week for the last episode of this session.